right. You want to look directly at Amy. And try to look more or less at the paper instead of looking up.
Okay, okay, look at the paper, okay.
All right, just a second. We're rolling. All right,
Ready?
I'm ready.
Yep.
If you can give us your name and your major.
I'm David Kadari, and I'm a biomedical engineering major.
Why Collin College?
I chose Collin because it's not just a regular community college in the standpoint that going there just to get your electives or credits or anything like that, but Collin has developed into allowing opportunities, not just for research or anything like that, but it's more developed than compared to the average community college. So if you want to grow your career, you don't just go to a community college. Collin allows you to grow your career and allows you to get credits out the way.
And I'm gonna pause for a minute, Vernon. Do you feel comfortable looking at the paper, or do you want to look at me? Because I think it's better when you look at me
Yeah.
because I'm making a reaction.
Yeah, I was like,
So let's go for me.
okay, okay.
All right.
If
Yeah,
If
go
we-
ahead, go ahead, Chair. No,
Okay,
go
very
ahead.
good. Okay.
okay,
Because I think that's still good.
Yeah.
'Cause I just felt funny. I was like,
No, it looks, yeah, it looks
Okay.
almost like, yeah,
Okay.
we're good. Sorry about that.
no, you're good. You're good.
Which class in the academy program inspired your research?
I would say our first semester we took our engineering 102 class, and that was a computer science class where we learned Python as a programming language. And with that class, it kind of programming language is just, I always thought it was like a foreign thing. It was like another, almost learning like a different language. But with this, it kind of made it easier in the class, and it kind of showed me the opportunities and how the real world applications of computer science. And with that, I saw, oh, we can use this to do something better.
What inspired you to choose to research the effect of machine learning on high-functioning people with autism in the STEM industry?
I would say, so I was looking for engineering internships and co-ops, and came across Southwest Airlines. And Southwest Airlines has an engineering role, an internship role just for people with autism. And that kind of led me to like, oh, there's companies that are just targeting people with autism, and that kind of and helped me go into research about that. And it showed, and I learned why in the past people may have tried to go away from that path because of like the social stigmas and all those concerns. So I saw that there was a problem, and as an engineer, when you see a problem, you want to make a solution. So try to eliminate that because they do have their pros.
What was the most challenging part of your research journey, and how did you overcome it?
I would say product development, because it's easy to just sit down and talk and theorize and just write down, oh, we're going to do this. You know, like I can say I'm going to make an airplane, but the logistics behind it is so much harder, manufacturing and all that stuff. For us, we had the idea and the concept, and it was a theory, but we had to go through programming and we had to train a model, and that's much more harder than it seems.
And I'm going to ask another question, but can you relay the question in a sense in your answer?
Okay, okay.
If you don't mind.
So like,
Like when I asked what was the most challenging part.
okay, okay.
Just so, because I don't think we're going to have my voice in it.
Okay,
We're gonna
okay.
Take it out.
All right.
Do you want me to start with that one again? Or
Yeah, yeah.
What was the most challenging part of your research journey, and how did you overcome it?
I would say the most challenging part of our research was the product development, because product development isn't just theorizing and making stuff up like the initial planning stages. With product development, you're actually making the product, you're training a model. It's something that you're putting pen to paper and then turning that into a whole building. And so that's what kind of made it more difficult than just theorizing the idea.
Can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
The top right here?
Yeah.
Hair sticking up right
Oh,
there.
right here?
Go forward.
Oh, forward?
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay. Good looks, good looks. Is good?
A little bit.
I got it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You good?
You good?
What do you hope others take away? Sorry. How do you see your research being applied in real-world settings or influencing future studies?
I would say our research could influence future studies because it shows the impact of, I guess, the big buzzword of AI. AI's applications has always been towards collecting data and just spitting it out and giving you the best average. But with us, with our model, we're trying to go through a new path. And yes, you're going through the average in the data, but we're going towards psychological sides, what we haven't seen in AI usage before. And so the implication of helping I would say medical side of the mental capacities of people, that's kind of different from that's what our research is targeting.
What do you hope others take away from your research and presentation?
I would hope that people could take away that the research and engineering, the whole point of it is to kind of make something better and leave it behind. It doesn't necessarily have to impact you or anything like that, but finding the niche in these topics, if every person finds a niche and they improve it, then we're collectively improving society as a whole. And I know it's not specific to our engineering project or anything, but when it comes to engineering, it doesn't necessarily have to be the cure for a disease or anything like that. It can be something small, but that still has an impact.
Okay. What have you learned about yourself through this research process?
I would say I learned about myself that when it comes to energy, I'm very high energetic at the beginning, and it's the endurance part that kind of gets with you. And so I learned through this engineering process, it's not about just that first theory, that when you're getting that first joy to go and do the project, you have to make it sustain and be longer. And kind of this project helped me learn to develop that perseverance when it comes to research.
Okay. Do you plan to continue researching this topic or pursue related work in graduate school or your career?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's been pretty enjoyable so far, and that's the best thing, to do something that you love. And just creation and the invention part, that kind of has always fascinated me, as that's why I headed towards engineering, and because it's creating something, and that's what this project's doing.
What advice would you give to other students?
I would say when it comes to just engineering, business, or anything like that, there's always more than you can do towards the classes, especially at community colleges. I know a lot of times I've talked to my friends who are at different colleges. You're at community college, how are you doing research? How are you doing these different things? And it's kind of funny to say that everyone says that you can't do it, but they never look to see if you can. And I say that there's, no matter where you're, whatever college you're at, or if you're at a local community college, to look at the research or look at the opportunities you can do to improve yourself. And it's about building your skills. It's not just taking classes. Classes can help your theory and stuff like that, but when it comes to research or experience or anything, hands-on stuff, that's more valuable than any class. So that's what I say. You want to redo that one, or?
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What advice would you give to other students?
I would say the biggest piece of advice I would give to other students is that just because you go to community college or you go to a college that's not Harvard or an Ivy League doesn't mean that there's no opportunities available for you. At Collin, I was able to find this research opportunity, and it's a local community college, and I've talked to my friends and they're asking me how. And my biggest thing is that most people don't look for these opportunities. And I remember me and Noah, we went to the Plano campus and we went to all the different campuses and just saw what are the opportunities we can do. And we talked to professors, and don't be scared to have the communication with your professors and ask them for help. I mean, they're there to help you, not just from your studies, but to see how you can progress your career.
How did it feel to learn that your work would be published in a prestigious journal?
So the funny thing is, the way we learned how our publication was going to be published in that journal was through Professor Starr. She told us, she pulled us aside in class, and she told us, oh, I had applied to this ASCE journal and to see if our paper would get accepted, and it did. So we had no clue that our paper was in the submission process. She surprised us, and so it was kind of a pleasant surprise, and it honestly was a really big pick me up because we had just started like after that quote unquote honeymoon phase of the research, and we were kind of dying with energy, but that just picked you up. And you know, those small wins or big wins, they just pick you up, and you know, that's the reaction. It gave me just a really big boost of energy.
What are you most looking forward to sharing in your upcoming presentation?
I look forward to presenting this. Just the whole purpose of the research was not just to improve like this general topic. I'm just fascinated with the fact that this is kind of a niche kind of research, and it's something that there isn't that much awareness about. That how in job applications you have to talk about if you have high functioning autism or not, or you have to prefer to not answer, and that can lead different ways. And I kind of want to, with this project, we're able to eliminate that, and it kind of like shows that like an unfair advantage has been given to these people, and we're trying to eliminate that. And some people don't even know about this unfair advantage. It's not just about we're creating a solution for it. Some people don't even know there's a problem for this. So that's where the awareness part is really what's big for me.
And you say unfair advantage.
Because sometimes there's a social stigma when it comes to high functioning autism, and they're given this doubt that can they perform in social situations with working with teams and something like that. And like any social, like maybe they might have this stigma in their mindset, oh, we don't want to hire them because of this. And through our research, we're able to create a certification program for them to go ahead and get rid of that fear. But that's also, I personally don't think that's a fair concept, because we can't get rid of the stigma, but the whole thing is that we try to spread more of the awareness, then people will realize more. Less and less people. It'll never be eradicated, but that's the hope, that less and less people will think that way.
And the last question, how did you prepare your research for publication and peer review?
So the way we went with it is that we first looked at what was already out there, because maybe I found a new invention or something like that, but if it's already out there, then it's not really a new invention. So we looked at what was there already out there and what people were doing, and we drew from those ideas, because it's not wrong to look at other places and see inspiration. So we saw what people were doing, what was working and what wasn't, and then we decided what our solution was and how we drew from those other topics. Then from there, we talked about our solution by looking at what the problem is, addressing the problem, then talking about what a solution would be, and then we went through the technical process of the solution. And then finally, we talked about the impact that we could possibly have with this solution.
That's awesome. And is there anything else you want to share that I didn't mention?
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You did an awesome job.